Hey guys, I was like having some thoughts earlier. I thought, I'd share some jewels. Well, what I consider jewels, I'll drop some jewels, and whoever, if you want to pick it up, whatever, that's up to you. Um, I read one time and I heard that most great people, the millionaires, or let's just say people that invent things, it doesn't necessarily have to be millionaires, but great people or great inventions, they all started with a question. They'd ask a question: how can I do this? Vice versa, etc. So, what I've come to realize is that life is almost like a dream. Like, we really create our own reality. So, I started to think, like, if life is a dream, why make it a nightmare? Right? Because I used to make my life a nightmare. I lived almost a nightmare. Um, so then I started to think, like sometimes we can't control our dreams. Sometimes, we just have nightmares or we dream random stuff that maybe something we thought about 2 days prior or we seen on TV or a fear or a want or whatever it may be. And that led me back to a lot of things I learned in the Bible, Jesus' teachings. Everything kind of goes to the heart, your heart. Everything flows from your heart, right? The energy, what you want in your heart, you will have. That'll be where your treasures are. So, which is kind of like your thoughts. And it all comes down to, if you want to dream, have a good dream, you need to control your thoughts. To control your thoughts, you need to control what goes into your brain and what you're around, your environment, aka people, energies, your phones, whatever it may be. Everything that you put into yourself, that you absorb. My point here is I don't know if it's like this for everybody, but it's almost like we really did go through a great awakening, and half the people or more or less are really asleep. We live in a matrix. I can think of something and it'll appear. It'll come into my life. Like, it might not come. I might want something and it might not land in my hands, but I'll watch it land into somebody else's hands. Or I'll watch it show up. It's weird. We live. It's almost like the Matrix. And I think, there's a season for everything. Some people come into your life for a season to teach you things, or or I don't know if it's half NPC. I don't really know exactly what's going on, but I do realize that we create our own reality. We are living the dream, and my question to that is why not avoid having a nightmare? Because we only get, it seems from what we know, we get one shot at this dream. So, I was just really into, I wish I would have got on here earlier, 20 minutes earlier, but I was driving. I mean, it was really deep thought, right? What they say, food for thought, And I'm not scared to express all this like a lot of other people, because I don't know if a lot of other people experience or whatever, maybe they call it the awakening, but I really believe that we are almost in a simulation here. Not that that's a bad thing or anything like that, but there's definitely a spiritual and unseen side to things. There's definitely laws, what they call them. Some people, I guess, would call them universal laws, or you can call it whatever you want. But like Jesus, he teaches you, turn the other cheek, to your enemies, pray for your enemies. He gives you all the keys to having a blessed life, really. Or you can follow universal laws or whatever. Let's just say karma, for instance. You get what you give type deal. There is laws to this dream. It's not like what we would think a dream would be. You control your dreams. Kind of like, what is that one movie? Like Spy Kids, or not Spy Kids, Lava Boy and Shark Girl or whatever. Or opposite, Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I remember in that movie, growing up, that was one of my favorite movies. That kid lived in a dream, and he was like controlling his dream, which I believe is almost subliminal in a way. It's like, hey, you catching what I'm putting down? Because it's almost unrealistic. But my point is, I don't think it's like, oh, I dream I'm going to be a millionaire, or I dream that I'm going to win the lottery, and then I just win the lottery. I don't think it works like that. There's laws to this. There's definitely unknown truths, which maybe a lot of you might know that I don't know. Maybe I'm just now waking up, you know what I mean? Maybe I'm just now figuring it out, but there's definitely you can see things. There's definitely an enlightenment, I guess you could say, to it. But really, the point of the jewels I'm dropping here is for the people that are like, this is hopefully to help somebody, or maybe you come into somebody or in a path with somebody that might need just a little bit of word, and maybe this word can help trigger the right thing, vice versa, for you to say for somebody else, or whatever it may be. But this is more for like people that are really having a rough time. Maybe drug addicts, or people that are having a lot of issues, that are blaming this, they're blaming the environment, they're blaming somebody else, everybody but themselves. They're blaming everybody but themselves. This is for the people that don't realize that we control our dream, in a sense. Now, that, like I said, there's laws to it. I haven't figured it all out. But this is for the people that don't realize that we live a dream, so let's not do the nightmare. They don't realize that our mind is like a garden, and you got to get the weeds out. And they don't realize that it's not like the dream world, what they describe the dream. It's not like instant. It takes time. It takes, you got a chisel, and you're really, you're beating at like a piece of stone and building a sculpture. You know what I mean? You're building yourself. You're building your dream. You're building what you want. They don't realize that. They think it's instant. And then you got bad habits, which we all do, that you got to cut and replace to sculpt what you're trying to sculpt. Now, I'm not the best at communication and speaking, but I'm going to work on it, because I think I have a lot of great thoughts, and I have a lot of spiritual wisdom that I've learned, earned, and when I say learned, I mean, it wasn't like I went and studied a book and blah, blah, blah. No, I have done that, but like the Bible, but more of my learning is from mistakes. I'm not, most of mine comes from doing the wrong thing, being an ugly person. So don't get that twisted. But we need to get this, we need to get this out to people that might need it. I kind of lost track there. That we got to cultivate our minds and our thoughts. And my suggestion to that is like, protect your energy. Work on your health, because your health is your wealth. You feel good about yourself, things, I don't know, life just gets better. So work on yourself, you know what I mean? Take care of yourself. Hygiene, everything, exercise, whatever it may be, and what you put in your mind, most importantly. Call out to God. Get your spirit right. You got to get that balance with the physical and the spiritual. You gotta find the balance there, and you gotta maintain it. Because to me, the spiritual is actually more, the divine overtakes everything. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says about that. Divine, with faith, you can move mountains. That's the truth. Peter walked on water. As soon as he took his eyes off Jesus, he sunk. So faith is important. I suggest getting into the Bible. Don't think about it too hard. Don't drive yourself nuts, because it's kind of hard to comprehend at first. And pray for understanding and wisdom and patience. But be careful for what you pray for, because it costs. It's not like sometimes like patience, for example, you might have to go through something that is really aggravating, but by the time it's over with, you're going to be a lot more patient than you was before. Anyways, pray for these things. Get into the Bible. Also, don't be religious. I'm not religious. You know, don't, keep in mind, Jesus was flipping tables and calling out all the religious people. It even says in the Bible, it talks about people who think they're religious and all that. I'm not religious. All right. There's spiritual truth. All right. Follow God. God will build a relationship with you. He has a purpose for you in a season for everything. So when you think you're doing bad, it might be just exactly what's supposed to happen. So don't get things twisted or beat up or judge or label me. I don't really care if you do, but don't do that to people, other people. Label me all you want. I suggest reading a book called As a Man Thinketh. It's by James Allen, and it's kind of a short book, really. So if you got a short attention span or whatever, it's perfect. It's kind of a little short book, a whole bunch of wisdom. Study that book, and try it out. Try out these things, because he drops so many jewels. And practice sculpting your dream. That's what I'm doing. Practice sculpting your dream. Now, like I said, again, this is for whoever, really. Maybe it might even be a reminder for somebody that's been doing it and they just kind of fell off. Like, I wanted to make this kind of short, but it didn't turn out that way, so I'm sorry. Keep in mind, I'm going to say a few other things that I've noticed here. As you progress on yourself and in your life, in your dream, you're going to have things try to come at you, right? Like waves. They're going to try to steer you, right? The Bible speaks about this too, by the way. Don't be going with the flow of the wave all the time. Now, there is a cadence to life and to the things you're achieving in these baby steps, but don't be letting a undertow current come and grab you up and sling you off a different path. You know what I mean? There's definitely, you gotta stay on point with this. Don't let somebody come in, for example, people are gonna hate on you. They're going to see you shine. They're going to be like, oh, this, blah, blah, blah. They're going to try to destroy your confidence, destroy who you are, whatever it is. I don't know why it does that. I don't know if they're NPCs or if that's just part of the test or what. People are going to come hate when you shine. They're going to hate. They're going to look down on you. They're going to belittle you in any way possible. Or they might, if that don't work, then they might try to squeeze in your life and get you off course or whatever it may be. they'll try to plant a weed in your garden. Just be prepared for that. That's one thing I've noticed. Don't let it affect you. You know what I mean? You got to protect your energy. It's really hard to do because people are going to try to stab at your energy. Don't let them dim your light, because the light always overtakes the darkness, and they can say whatever they want. But in the end, you know you, and the fruit that you produce is going to outshine everything. You know what I mean? People aren't going to judge you by, in the end, they're not going to judge you by the things you have and all this other stuff. They're going to judge you by your character and like the real fruit of you. So, anyways, just want to drop them jewels here. I hope you guys like it. I think I'm gonna start doing little random food for thought type deals. I'm gonna put them on YouTube or Facebook, because really, I don't care what people think. I'm gonna shine, and I hope you shine too. For real, I don't. And sometimes I do, but at the same time, I know that I gotta just block all that, because when you start caring about what the Matrix thinks, then the Matrix is gonna control you. So live your own dream, and keep in mind that not everybody's dream is the same. You know what I mean? My dream's not your dream. Your dream's not my dream. You know, some people want to do this and want to do that, and others don't. I want to be healthy. You know what I mean? I want to be happy and peace. I want to have financial freedom and all this other things. You know, that's kind of the norm, but I more or less want to shine like my own light. I want to be me. And I think everybody should be themselves. Don't let the Matrix imprint you. Like, don't let them make you. If that makes sense. It's kind of hard to explain. Don't let them imprint what they want you to be. Don't let them write the story for you. If anybody's got any suggestions or other jewels or anything, things I haven't figured out yet in this awakening, whatever's going on, leave the comments. I don't know, call me. I don't really care, man. It's hard to find people that are on the same type of level, you know what I mean, as you. That's another thing. I'm going to say this last thing here. Surround yourself by people who are better than you. They can help you. That, sorry, somebody just walked by and looked right into my car. Anyways, so surround yourself by people that inspire you, that you would consider better than you, or that you can help in a way that you guys can help each other. You know what I mean? That's almost like a mentor type deal. Don't downgrade yourself, because there's levels. And I'm not saying don't help people out or whatever, but don't be getting off course. Keep going up. You know what I mean? Keep growing. Never get comfortable. Never stop growing. I'm going to cut it here, because now I'm just yapping. The end idea here is, if life's a dream, why make it a nightmare? Anyways, we're at 20 minutes, basically. Holler at me. I think I'm going to do some YouTube stuff. If you got any ideas and you want to link up, or if you just got some ideas, holler at me. Comment. I don't really care. If you want to work out, holler at me. Definitely. If you got anything great you want to do, if you want to just shine, I don't care. Holler at me, man. Oh, and I don't know. Just have a blessed day. God bless.